Welcome to my tutorial on creating a basic user login. This is my last tutorial in the introductory PHP section. I'm not going to get into all the code on this tutorial. I'm just going to go over the method part for right now due to time constraints, and I want to leave off in this, so the next time we make one we'll be covering the action, and that involves sending the code to a different page or to the same page to cross-reference it against itself. So if you want to pause it here and type out this code, while you're doing that, if you look at the input type down at the bottom, the submit, this is HTML, by the way, with a mixture of PHP, but I'm not going to cover the HTML section of this simply because these are PHP tutorials, and I assume some basic user knowledge in PHP to begin with, or else you wouldn't be using, or I'm sorry, basic user knowledge in HTML, or else you wouldn't be using PHP. But the submit and submit one and login, I think you can figure all that out and what that means. And text and value, username, that's also kind of common sense stuff there. If you don't understand it, then maybe request some tutorials on HTML, and I might take the time out to tell you, but I wouldn't post in the forums asking what this stuff means, because I simply won't answer you. When you run this line of code, what you're going to end up with is this. And if you type in a username and hit login, what you're going to see at the top of the address bar is you're going to see your login form is what I name mine. You name yours whatever you want, but I named mine login form. Saved it as a PHP, ran it in a www folder out of easy PHP. You might have uploaded yours to a site, whatever. But when you run the code, you're going to see this line of code appended to it in the address bar. Now the reason for that is because we've used the get method. And the get method is used for non-sensitive materials. So if it's something that you don't want covered up or hidden, you can use the get method. Another method of doing this is what we call the post method. Now if you change the get to post and you ran your code, what you're going to see is when you type in your username and hit login, you're going to see that it's hidden that section of code. So that's the difference between the two, and for now that's all we're going to be covering. You can play with these values and see what they do on your own. If you're still having problems understanding what those values do, then request a HTML tutorial in the forums, or leave a comment requesting one. But don't simply request information on what these exact values do. And this is your basic user login. So what we're going to be doing in the following tutorials, or the upcoming tutorials, is we're going to be using some of the old PHP code that we've already done, and we're going to implement this here so we can check against a valid username and password, and then create a fake login screen and all that good stuff. So, but for now, just remember the method here is the most important thing. When you have sensitive materials, use the post method. When you have non-sensitive materials, you can use the get method. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and thanks for checking out all these PHP tutorials.